Hey all, welcome to Dare to Date Me, where we dive into some topics that sometimes will make people feel uncomfortable, sometimes will make you feel really comfortable, and sometimes will be like, oh, wait, does that really happen? It's all about dating in today's day and age and what does it really look like. So today we have Maria Lynette joining us today. She is a certified life coach and dating coach, speaker, connection creator, and what is your primary function in helping people get together? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we get past who they are and in these relationships, and then we're going to dive into a little bit about friends with benefits today with Maria.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I mean, basically what I do is I help people really clear up the confusion in dating. Dating with intention is all about having the clarity of what you really want and being able to effectively communicate that with a potential partner and to seek whether or not they're in alignment with the same thing so that you know whether or not you're wasting your time and energy.
All right. So today, in today's day and age, it's disposable dating, as so many of my friends and I refer to it, because you literally could go on a date tonight, you could go on a date tomorrow morning for brunch, you could go on a date tomorrow night, and then the next day you could be like, oh, I'm fishing for someone new, right? So it's very disposable. How do we get past the disposable?
It's really being upfront about what you really want. So many people today are afraid of really telling someone what they want because they're afraid they're going to scare someone off. But
Yeah, I can see that.
right, but shrinking your truth is not going to help you build a deep connection.
Well, in 90 days, I've always said it takes 90 days to get to know someone, whether it's a female friendship, a male friendship, or a dating relationships. 90 days to get to know someone because you cannot hold a facade up for more than 90 days.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I usually tell my clients, even when we talk about physical intimacy, I really encourage them to wait 90 days. It's not because 90 days is a perfect rule. It's just like what you're saying. It really takes about 90 days before someone can no longer keep up a fake act, right? Where you're really going to start seeing. But I also teach my clients how to really not just listen to words, but pay attention to actions and patterns. So I help them to identify that the words that the person's speaking actually matches the actions that they're describing.
Okay, so let's talk about the friends with bennies.
Okay.
Let's talk about those actions. What are some actions that are displayed in that relationship?
So the reality is that both friends with benefits, situationships are all built on a lack of commitment and a lot of assumptions, right? Friends with benefits is basically, a person seeking to meet a physical need and pretending emotions aren't going to follow. Okay. Situationships, they look like relationships, but they lack commitment, clarity, and consistency. So I always say we don't attract what we want. We all want someone who's going to respect us and value us. But you have to first respect and value yourself if that's what you're trying to attract.
In the situationship, isn't there at least one of the parties feeling that they're committed, but the other one is not?
I would say a lot of times, yes. Someone in that situation is usually hanging on to hope. They're hoping
they're going to change or they're going to come around and then find out that
person.
you're the best person for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, look, you can change a lot of people with great sex, and I think you can change them for the moment, but when the moment's gone, are they going to be there?
Here's the reality. Chemistry only lasts temporary. It's not long-term. The only thing that lasts long-term is compatibility. So yes, you need chemistry in a relationship, right? You have to have that desire and that want there. But without compatibility in other things like your values that we talked about, your vision and your goals and your lifestyle preferences, it's not going to last.
Then they are going to be that person that you call up for the booty call.
Yes. Yeah. Temporary.
Right.
Temporary.
What about, would that be part of also serial daters? Some people just want to keep dating and go on different ones or do some of these different things, but they're not going to have that commitment because that's the situation. But you've got to identify that person right away.
But I think that person is also only looking for the next best thing. Because you can go out with someone and have an amazing connection with someone on a Friday night, have an incredible dinner, have all the same things in common. Oh, I like doing this. I like going here. I like going there. Have you gone here? No. Oh, that would be a great second date. Like, you have the right conversations, and then you feel this chemistry and connection with this person. You wind up sleeping with them that first date. It happens all the time. And then you're ghosted. You never hear from them again.
I think a lot of people, get into this habit of having sex too soon because they feel like it's an expectation today, right? Rather than upholding a standard or a value.
Do you feel that having sex on the first date, not in that person's mind, will lead to the second date or lead to the continued ongoing relationship, lead into a relationship because of the chemistry that's formed on the first night?
What if you don't call it a date? Can you just
Can you just say, hey, let's hook up, let's go to dinner.
Let's not call it a
let's
date.
grab
That way
some
we can
food,
have sex the first time.
right? Let's grab some food, grab some appetizers,
Yeah.
and by the way, I think you're smoking hot, or I think
Let's
you're
call this
super
something-
attractive.
yeah.
Let's go bump uglies and move on with it, right?
So let's identify this. Women are the ones who complain about men who just want sex. It's not men, right?
Let me be the first to tell you, it's not just all men.
Yeah, women want it too.
Women absolutely want it too.
Yeah.
I'm not here. This will never be a bashing men thing. It'll never be a bashing women thing. But I think both parties need to own up. And if that is all you're looking for,
Right.
say, that is all I'm looking for.
100%.
Period.
100%. Leading with clarity
Right.
in your intention, being honest about what your intentions are up front. It's just not a complaint that men have in relationships. It's a complaint that women
what
have.
man have you ever met that's going
Right.
to be like, no, I don't want to have sex with you tonight. You're super hot and
Yeah.
I'm attracted to you, but no, I don't want to do that.
And even if it was a situation where you have a guy that's going to want to try to do all the right things and maybe not have physical interaction initially,
You mean
they're
sex?
they're never going to. I'm trying to be nice. They're never going to admit it. But I know that there are men out there that are also trying to have that honesty. Honesty, I think, for me, is always what I try to keep telling everybody. Just be honest.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? They say no, or you don't go together. That means they weren't the right person.
Exactly.
Done.
Done.
But why
Yeah.
kill yourself over it and try to do something if you're not going to be honest? Be honest with yourself at the very least.
Yeah. Clarity really is kindness, right? And just being honest up front with those right intentions. But one of the things that I see that's really the problem is that if that's not your place, if you're really seeking something long-term and committed and you're going into a relationship like that and you end up doing those things because you feel expected to do that rather than setting the standard and the boundary to begin with early on.
Right.
And a lot of times I think, the reality for me is what I believe when it comes to a quality man, that he is watching a woman's behavior. If you're going to give yourself up early in the first night, first date, the first week, the first month, to me, you're showing what your value is. A lot of times I have this conversation with my clients about the Bugatti list. Are you familiar with the Bugatti?
Nope.
The car, the Bugatti?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bugatti, the brand Bugatti is literally looking to weed out buyers. They're trying to, you can't just have $3 million and you can just buy a Bugatti. You have to meet certain standards. You have to pass a background test. You have to, if you're getting any maintenance done on this vehicle, you have to have it done by the manufacturer, not some weekend mechanic. You have to keep the tires clean. You have to present a certain image to drive this car. Right. All of these requirements, right? It creates value that not everyone can have. So a woman who is seeking a long-term committed relationship, a quality relationship, who gives herself up in the first night, the first week, the first month, is showing how she views her value. Because anybody can get that. It's easy to get.
So that's like Yaris behavior versus Bugatti behavior.
Yes. Yes, be a Bugatti.
That might be our new hashtag for this segment, right? Hashtag be a Bugatti, right?
Be a Bugatti. Yes.
So what are your suggestions for women and men? There might be a man out there that just really says, hey, I'm all in, but this is all I have. How do you have that conversation where all I want is a friends with benefits situation? There's someone that I know now that, I value his friendship. I think he's a great guy. He is not interested in anything more than friends with benefits, period. with me or anyone else. That's it. Like, that's all he's capable of. I think he's short selling himself. What advice could I give to someone like that? Or I'm sure there's other people that listen to the podcast that are in that same exact situation that he is. Like, what advice would you share with that person?
If they really are in a situation where they don't like, first of all, if you're in a situation and you're dealing with someone like that, you need to ask yourself, does this person have the capacity and the desire to meet me where I am? And then if they don't, then you need to know to walk away. That's your boundary. Someone who's wanting to live in that lifestyle of, just having random sex with strangers and what have you, just be honest about where you are. Yeah. Really identify that up front so that you're not going to hurt someone down the road. And you're giving the person a choice.
Right.
Yep.
Right? You're giving them agency to make the choice, whether they want to be a willing participant or they want to protect themselves and walk away.
And man, I'm just going to put a PSA in here. If y'all are doing this, wrap your junk. I'm just going to put it right out there because you know what?
Yeah.
That's not cool. So, all right. So we have the Friends with Benny's discussion. Have it up front. Seek alignment. I love the alignment part, seeking the alignment with what you're looking for and what your person's looking for. I mean, I think so many people can connect on so many other levels, but when it gets down to it, if you're looking for longevity, what would you share with someone?
I mean, it really is all about seeking not just your chemistry, it's also compatibility, long-term compatibility, because anybody can hang around for 6 months. But in order for it to sustain long-term, you need to make sure you're in alignment.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
And I understand you have a little bonus that you're willing to offer to all of our guests that listen to the podcast.
Yes, anyone who's interested in further information to talk about potential coaching or to get any of these extra questions that they may have, they can reach me on my website, which is theoliveav.com, Av like avenue, short. Or they can reach me on Maria Lynette on Facebook. If they send me a message and tell me that they heard this message on Dare to Date with Me podcast, I'll offer them a free 15-minute clarity call just to see whether or not I can help them. And if so, then I'll offer them a 90 session minute for free.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
for joining us today.
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody listening out there, I will connect and put everything that Maria has offered today on all of my social medias as well, and you'll be able to click on the links and reach out and contact her. Maria, thanks for taking the time to join us today. Truly appreciate your insight.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome.